my problem with the movie was that there was no character arc. There was no feeling of discovery because we didn't know what she didn't know. You know what I mean? It's like there was nothing to uncover.
In other words, you're talking about it's similar. The directors were saying something to the fact that they were trying to make this like RoboCop, and in RoboCop they were showing him, you recall, him having memories of his past life prior to him being shot and nearly killed.
Right.
But they showed who he was as a man. I think as a husband. I think as a father too. Prior to the accident that happened to him when he was attacked by I can't remember, they were terrorists or robbers.
Well, in the beginning of the movie, of course, they show a series of flashbacks.
Flashbacks, right?
And here's the other thing. I don't know how many times they show flashbacks of her crashing. How many times I need you to see you crashing?
Right. Falling and getting up.
Oh my God. So these take up minutes.
Right.
All of this fluff with nothing concrete. You could be building the character. To me, they already made the first mistake, of course, of pushing her on us too soon. Particularly at the end of Endgame. We're sticking with Captain Marvel. But with Endgame, it's like, Thor's like standing there like, excuse me? do I know you? Who invited you to the party? And she's like, well, Fury. I go, oh, really? Okay. The development of Captain Marvel was so downplayed that I just feel like you haven't earned a position to come in to Endgame. You haven't earned it. But I'm hoping that we're going to see exactly the contrast between what Sony or what anybody else does or anybody in Marvel directing, aside from what the Russo brothers are going to do. Better Spider-Man in no. We appeared in Avengers, Civil War. Better Spider-Man in Civil War than in Homecoming. Better Black Panther in Civil War than in Black Panther. I'm hoping that the Russo brothers give Brie Larson some kind of humanity, some kind of feeling. I hope that she emotes more,
which we should have gotten.
I dislike her
in this film.
I should not dislike the hero who was supposed to be the main antagonist. I should not dislike her, and I do.
Well, I think what they were trying to do is something different to the extent of saying this is a person who's already been out here. She's fighting what the comic books how the comic books are written as the Kree Skrull War. The Kree Skrull War.
No, I'm not talking about the story.
Okay, you mean the actress?
Her.
Oh, okay.
She looked bored. I'm so upset by it. Now, want to come back. You were talking about the Captain Marvel. Let me tell you something, man. They should have had me cast this movie.
Oh, I was saying who originally should have played the role. I mentioned, I remember before she lost her famed wrestling match. What's her name? The wrestler. I'm trying
to. A male wrestler?
Female wrestler.
What's that one that's really big? China something?
No, not her. I should have wrote her name down. But we're going to find it in a few minutes. But there were two choices of actresses that could have possibly played as Captain Marvel before Brie Larson was chosen. And I'm not a Brie Larson hater. I have nothing against Brie Larson. I've seen the videos of her working out. She worked out for 9 months. She's been promoting it.
Did she really?
9 months.
She certainly didn't show it. What did she do other than arm wrestle with Jude Law for a couple of minutes? There was nothing else physical.
Yeah.
Here's my other problem. all of a sudden I got the energy to fly. She's learning how to fly automatically. I mean,
Well, she was already. They introduced her as Captain Marvel. They didn't introduce her as Carol Danvers. They introduced her as Captain Marvel. She was already out there. That's the thing that I like. Now, how it was done wasn't probably likable or done correctly, but they introduced her as Captain Marvel. They didn't want to do the traditional origin story. That's why they were doing the flashback thing. Now, how they put her into the universe, or showed her as she's just starting off as Captain Marvel, that's the thing that was questionable. In my personal opinion,
Horrible.
there's no offense. This is, and to me, for me, I'm going to be a lot more lighter. I don't think that it was Brie Larson's fault. I fault the directors. Whenever you have a film, unless you have a bad actress, and Brie Larson's not a bad actress. I've seen her in other films. If the actress is bad, is one thing. Like if you're talking about a Jean-Claude Van Damme, type person, who's not an actor, or something like to that extent, if you put that kind of person in a movie, doesn't matter who the director is necessarily, you're still going to get, a not so quality performance from a person who's not an actor in the first place.
all right. So here's the Ms. Marvel outfit I think you're talking about, correct?
I mentioned that outfit.
Let me tell you something. No. As a matter of fact, there's one that's a little more risque.
That's how she used to appear. There's another one. She has a sash.
Yeah, and then we got there's one where her arms are actually bare, and she's got black gloves that go all the way up to here.
Yeah.
All right, I would prefer this outfit over the garbage that she was wearing. My problem with the outfit that she was wearing is she walked around like this all the time. And what's the bald fist? Come on, honey, relax. And she didn't look right in the outfit, her head, and then she looked like she was walking around somebody's community in cosplay. I didn't feel that the uniform fit. She couldn't wear this either, and that's why I wouldn't have chosen her. I would have chosen.
What is the actress's? I mean, the
No.
wrestler's name?
Here's your Captain Marvel, buddy.
Let's see. What you got?
Charlize Theron. Tell me you don't put her in that outfit, and that ain't gonna be smoking, brother. And here's the other thing I like about having her as Ms. Marvel or Captain Marvel. She's got stature. She's tall. She's got a commanding. You put Charlize Theron in that outfit and have her walk into the room, she's gonna get some respect. There you go. Come on, Marvel. You should have let me do this. Shelley, could you imagine Charlize Theron in the Avengers movie as Captain Marvel? Would have been fantastic.
I have to say, I never even thought of her.
And she's not too old. She's not too old.
No, she's not. They probably were looking for something,
right?
A little bit more younger.
Yeah, but boy, oh boy, I would have loved to see that. So that's my choice. But anyway, I got to do with what the hand that was dealt me.
Yeah. I'm trying to find this wrestler I'm talking about. I was just talking about her the other day.
Well, while you're looking for that, let me continue to elaborate.
Yeah.
Nick Fury. Atrocious. I was offended. I understand he was a younger guy, Jehblue.
Yeah.
But he was a totally different. That wasn't even the same person. Being led around by Brie Larson all moving on. Come on, Fury. Oh man, I wanted to jump up and just put a big rip in the screen. Drove me crazy. Now here's the other thing. Okay, so he's in a major car accident with the Kree.
Right.
I mean with the Skrull, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gets his head bashed in. Now I guess did he get somebody to look at it and we just didn't see it because he had stitches over his eye?
I have no idea what was happening with that particular situation.
Okay. All right. So now, so his eye is gassed up at the top. He's got some kind of stitch in it, and the cat, the Flurkin, Goose. Nice, interesting kind of character to put into the movie, but not done well.
Yeah.
And I can tell most of it was not even a real cat. A lot of it was a CG cat. I was, that's crazy. But anyway,
That's not this, so not to offend or get in trouble with
right.
animal
Cruelty and all that. So, this one kills me. So he's playing with the cat all through the movie, right? Now, of course, cats can be unpredictable.
Right.
So he's holding the cat up to his face. What the cat does? What does the cat do?
Right.
Scratches him in the eye. He's already had his forehead bashed in. Now the cat scratches him in the eye. The only person at the dinner table that was concerned was the creep. Was the Skrull.
Right.
He's like, does it look bad? Yeah. Skrull's like, yeah, it looked bad.
That part to me made no sense.
Why wouldn't he go to a hospital? What? He's sitting there at the dinner. Everybody's sitting around. He's got the blood. He's got wound, and nobody cares.
Well, again, one of the complaints too with that is that we thought when we would see Nick Fury lose his eye, that the cat would scratch it out probably, but not when you put in your face to face with a cat like that. Anyone with common sense knows not to do that. You don't put your face.
Well, he did it because he was doing it all movie long.
That was just
I know.
ridiculously drawn out.
Here's the other thing.
And what should have happened when he lost his eyes in the beginning, when Coulson was in the car, or with was it Ben Mendelsohn, the Skrull, was in the car with him, that's when he should have lost his eye, to make the scene more dramatic. To keep playing the scene out like that over and over again with this cat was admittedly very unnerving.
Yeah, and
Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey was my first choice.
No way, bro.
That's Captain Marvel. Oh, man.
No way, bro.
Far better. I mean,
you want to talk about
Charlize Theron?
Are you kidding me?
Charlize Theron is a nice-looking woman, but it
Jehblue.
turns a body.
Jehblue.
There's a body, absolutely.
First of all, too short. Probably about the same height as
Ronda Rousey is tall.
No, she's not.
She's a big
No,
girl.
she's not. Look up her height.
Let's see.
No, she's not.
Ronda.
And I'll tell you this: Brie Larson is no, beauty, but
she's not.
Have you seen Ronda Rousey without makeup? Holy cow! They really have to make her up. No way, bro. Ronda Rousey?
That's what that was my choice.
No.
That was one of my choices.
It's all good. It's all good.
So in terms of like you didn't have to train her, she's built. I thought she was kind of tall, but
well, I could be wrong, but I don't think she's that tall. I think most of those MMA women are short. But anyway, I think my choice. I prefer my choice, but that's okay. But okay, so let me just wrap it up and give you an opportunity to get in on this. So I didn't care for how humble they made Samuel Jackson. Granted he's younger, but he had to be a lot more saltier than that. Come on, man. He was like being led around. So that was a big disappointment. Oh my goodness.
The young lady who plays as Piper, and I can't remember.
The daughter of Rambo?
No. The young
Piper.
lady that plays as Piper. You've probably not watched the show on Netflix.
You're talking about
Orange
something
is
else.
Black. New Orange is Black. She was also my choice of actress, and the main lead for Captain Marvel, who I thought they should also pick too. That's the other actress I was trying to think of. I'm looking on my phone here. You can see me looking down. That's what I'm looking at. And I can't remember the actress's name, but her character name on the story is called Piper, Piper. And she's a lead character in that show. That's the other actress, along with Ronda Rousey, that I thought who could have played as Captain Marvel. I never thought of Charlize Theron.
The only problem, though, with Ronda Rousey, no acting experience.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one, man.
Yeah, I agree. You'd have to take acting classes.
I mean, at least with Charlize, you got another Academy Award winner,
right?
And a much better actress.
But to Bree's credit to not throw too much on her. When it comes to movies,
you have to, man, because she's Jehblue. She's your principal. She's guiding the film.
Well, what I'm going to say too is I also look at the directors of a movie. That's the first.
That's true.
That's the first person I look at before I blame an actor.
There's great actors and actresses who.
Denzel Washington was one of the best actors I've seen that's out there. But I can't remember that movie he was in. I think it was called Bones or something like that. And the movie was absolutely awful. and even his efforts as an actor. You know what I'm saying? The movie was just, it was, I don't know if it was called Bones or what the hell it was called, or it had to deal with something with him able to reincarnated through a spirit or a demon or something like that.
Now, the one, well, now if you're talking about reincarnation of a demon or a spirit,
I'm just talking about.
No. I know. I'm trying to recall. I know the movie you're talking about. It's almost like it's a thriller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But
because the spirit passes from
one person to the other. The point I'm making
like
is
that
I
movie,
thought
huh?
the movie was
Really?
terrible. It was I just didn't like it at all.
If we're talking about the same movie, I kind of dug it.
And how he was singing some song or something like that through the movie.
Oh, it was a Rolling Stone song that it was a reason for that song coming in.
To me, it was just
no kid. I like that movie.
No, I see. Again,
Isn't
that's
that
why
funny?
That's what we differ
It's
in terms
perfect.
of
It's perfect.
And that's what I'm saying.
This is perfect.
I look at the director, and for me, that movie, starring an Academy Award-winning actor, Denzel Washington, one of the best actors out there. I'm like, what the hell is he doing singing this song? It was just goofy to me. And so I look at the director of a film first, because the director can take a great actor or actress and basically point them in the wrong direction where the movie's supposed to be going. Not only that, the script writers too. And then when you talk about suit design, costume design, she didn't design the suit. And Disney and Marvel have all the money in the world to design the perfect costume for Brie Larson to make her look the way she should have. I didn't have a problem with the costume, but I can see your point. It did look like cosplay. You know what I'm saying? They could have done a much better job. This is not a movie that was rushed. They had all the time in the world do it. It was not like...
you don't believe it was rushed?
I don't think it was rushed because remember I said earlier that they have been planning this. They talked about this like 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, now I'm really irritated. They had all this time?
Kevin Feige announced, this in the slate of Marvel Phase 3 films that were announced again at Comic-Con, the San Diego Comic-Con, about 5 years ago. So they've had the time to get the little nuances and little mistakes out of the way and design this movie in a way that will be satisfactory towards fans. The other concern of mine too is that, again, back to the directors. What's their name again? Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, is that they're used to doing indie films. They've never directed a comic book movie in their life, and not only that, have they even read a comic book?
Yeah, but Ryan Coogler hadn't either.
Brie Larson actually sat down, and not only did she work out, she was actually reading comic books, before she filmed this movie. So,
well, she better, because that's an actor's job is to do research.
But not a lot of actors do. And some actors don't even have to, because some are just that darn good. I mean, we mentioned Hugh Jackman before. Hugh Jackman didn't do very much research before doing.
Well, we know Ben Affleck didn't have to do much research because he was in love with Batman from birth. You know, so and I heard that he actually had and it could be rumored that he replicated the old '60s. The
Adam
'60s.
West. Adam West.
Yeah, a Batcave in his home.
Oh wow. Well, he's definitely.
I wonder if that was.
I don't know if that's true or not. But
well, he was hardcore.
We know that he's a comic book fan. He definitely is. Him and Matt Damon, they're buddies, and they talk about comic books a lot. He actually asked Matt Damon if he wanted to be in a comic book movie. But let's stay on track here.
I was getting ready to say. So you want to put in your input as far as the movie itself?
My blame goes to the directors.
Okay.
Not towards Brie Larson.
So you want to talk about
the only way I'm going to blame Brie Larson is to see what happens in this Avengers Endgame movie.
But see, now you're talking about directors. It's the Russos. I can guarantee the Russos, hopefully,
what I'm
going to treat it better.
What I'm going to say is, if her acting does not change in this movie under the direction of the Russo brothers, then I'll say, then you need to get rid of Brie Larson and get someone else to play that role.
And that's the point I was making earlier. I got a feeling that the Russo's version of her is going to be, at least, I still be to my satisfaction, but I think it's going to be better than
So
this
I'm hoping
version.
that for the sequel of Captain Marvel, which will be made, is that for one thing, change directors, please. Change directors. No offense to the directors. If you're watching this video, happen to run across this video, I think I'm sure that you guys are good in what you do in terms of independent movies or indie films. but in terms of a big budget movie and to be able to handle not only the actor herself and the character of Captain Marvel, but also even the the science fiction part of the film, or handling the special and visual effects, which is something I want to mention too. I really think they need to change directors and also change possibly script writers, or I think they co-wrote the script or something like that. So change the script writers, change directors, and then present Captain Marvel. She still has a chance at redemption. I think that Brie Larson can be redeemed. I think that the Captain Marvel character can be redeemed. The opening scene to this movie was, to me, off the hook. And that's the direction they should have went in. It's a direction that a lot of fans were expecting, was to see the Kree-Skrull War. That's what they wanted to really see. I didn't mind seeing a young Nick Fury, but to see the Kree-Skrull War done in its full capacity like the comic books, that's what the opening scene kind of led to, and it only gave you a smidgen of that, or a taste of that, and we really wanted to see the Kree-Skrull War.
I wasn't expecting a full-out war between the two this soon, but what I wasn't expecting is a rewrite of the Skrulls being refugees. I mean, I much prefer the more
the more vicious, more
from the comic book.
Right.
I mean, it's an interesting rewrite.
Yeah.
To flip the script and make it, that the Kree were the one that were really kind of the bad guys.
Well, the Kree actually are. They've never really portrayed the Kree as being good guys.
As a matter of fact, in the comic book, the Kree and the Skrull were never good.
The Kree
were always on the other side.
The Kree are basically a race of what do you want to say? They dominate. They are warlords almost in a way, and diplomats too, or diplomatic warlords. That's what they are. They're conquerors. They look to conquer. They're conquered throughout the universe, and they run into another race of conquerors, or someone just as powerful they are, which so happens to be, I think they call the Shi'ar or the Shire, which I've mentioned before, and the Skrulls. And so they run into opposition with each other, because you got one trying to conquer, another trying to, three races of conquerors, and someone's going to dominate, And so the Kree have never necessarily been really good guys.
Right.
Even in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they showed the Kree and how vicious they can be, and they are, and how they experimented with humans and turned them into the Inhumans. Their war again with the Shire or Shi'ar, the war with the X-Men. In the comic books, so they've been
around.
They've been around for a while, so
yeah.
So I didn't have a problem with that, and even showing that not all people are necessarily bad. There's Bendel Mendelsohn's character was saying, we're just looking for a home, man. He's saying that he did mention and say there are bad Skrulls out here. You know what I'm saying? But not all are bad. And what I liked about that is, again, it got into breaking down the narrative of stereotyping, and a lot of people say, well, I don't want politics in my comic books. I don't want politics.
That's ridiculous.
Movies. But comic books are made off of politics. Period.
Stan Lee wrote politics in the early issues of Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. All of them had
the X-Men as
anything that the world would go through in reality.
Right.
Comic books type.
I mean, hell, Stan Lee said Lee said years ago the X-Men were based off of racism. Basically, people not accepting someone being different. And even Superman itself, from DC Comics, of course, Superman, the character is based off of an experiment that the Nazis, or the Nazi regime under Hitler, were actually trying to literally invent a super soldier or supermen to fight during World War II. That's actual factual document information when you can research in terms of talking. We're not going to try to talk about Hitler, but you want to do some research into Hitler and what he was.
We can talk about Hitler, man. I'm dude.
What the guy was trying to do, he was trying to actually create
changing the subject.
He was trying to create Superman. And Captain America, same thing. Captain America was an invention, but German soldier, a German scientist.
Yeah.
So Captain America and Superman were actually based off of real ideas with what was happening during World War II, and they were trying to create Superman. And so when anyone says I don't want politics in my comic books, I'm like, what are you talking about? Comic books are based off of politics, man. You know what I'm saying? They're based off of things that happen in everyday life. You know, Star Wars, same thing. Star Wars, I've said before, is just a soap opera in outer space.
Here's another thing. Anybody that tells you I don't want politics in my superhero movies, ask them, say, like Civil War? Most people loved it.
Right.
There it is. The whole movie was about that.
Right.
Actually, this whole 10-year arc
Yeah.
is all led off of politics.
Civil War is based, I mean, the term itself is based off of what? The American Civil War.
Yes.
I mean, it's just using, it's a superhero Civil War.
Yeah.
It's a difference of opinion and the government intervening in the lives of superpower beings. And some are, you have one group who's for it, you know, to be able to have to register themselves in their powers, and one who's against it about registering themselves in their powers.
Right.
One like, I want to keep my identity,
privacy issues,
and things like that. So
autonomy,
autonomy. Politics are all in comic books.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, what are you talking? Anyone who says it, I just look at them. Either I look at them like you're crazy and I don't respond, or I respond like, what are you talking about, man? Do you really read the comic books, or what are you looking at? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I look at the pretty visuals or the beautiful artwork and everything like that. I do my artwork from the pages, videos, as you've seen if you watched my channel. But politics are all throughout comic books. So, you know.
Well, so can you give me a grade? Scale of 1 to 10? Or did you have more to elaborate on as far as?
Just a little bit more.
Okay, all right.
We were talking about we talked about the flashback scenes. Carol Danvers and using the name Veers. I give Brie Larson as an actress the benefit of the doubt. I go back to the directors in terms of how the direction of this movie went, and that it should have gone, and all the actors involved in it. The scenes with the cat, Goose, the music, which I did enjoy that.
Did you?
I enjoyed the music, but
I can't remember what it sounded. It was forgettable.
I like the Kelly suit, the iconic cameo. The Stanley cameo, of course, was nice, and the dedication to Stanley.
There you go. I'll tell you that. You want to know what the best part of that movie was?
What was that?
The Marvel introduction.
Yeah, it was very nice.
The tribute to Stan. It was awesome.
Lashana Lynch, very emotional character, but like Mike, I have to agree they should give her more to stand on, more show more of the relationship between her and Carol. You know. Danvers as to why she was so emotional and I miss you, girl, and girl, where you been, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not taking anything from Lashana Lynch as an actress. She put her all into that scene.
Let me tell you something.
Very well done. Very emotional. I
thought the daughter was fine.
Yeah.
You know, she was one of the best parts of the movie. Just her, relationship.
And what you just said is important because Akira Akbar, the actress who played as Monica Rambeau, is a future of the Marvel Universe. One of the futures of the Marvel Universe. And she becomes the character, and I brought the comic book, Photon. And this is a comic here. Up in the left-hand corner, or it might be the right-hand corner.
Jay. Bring it up. No, up. Yeah. Okay. Yep, so they can catch it all. And pull back just a bit.
Okay. So
there you go.
That's Monica Rambeau. That's the little girl that you see in the movie. That's who she becomes. Photon right there. Oh, okay. So that's the future of the Marvel Universe. We're going to more likely see her in the upcoming Marvel films, Phase 4 or Phase 5. So that to me was definitely a bonus for the film. The Tesseract scene with the cat.
You talking about the end
credit and the cat, or burping it up or whatever. That was unnecessary and annoying. The first end credit scene though that showed Brie or Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers meeting up with the Avengers, I thought that was very cool. When they were talking, and then Black Widow turns around, and there she is standing right behind her, and says, "Where's Fury?" I did like that. And that got cheers from the crowd. So I rate movies on a scale of 1 to 10. So I think I'm going to give this movie overall a 7. I'll give it a 7. So it could have gotten an 8, but the things that we discussed in terms of its flaws definitely keeps it from there. But I give it a 7. I wish I could have given it higher. I liked the movie. I didn't love it. It's definitely not the best Marvel movie. I liked it. I didn't love it. Would I get it on DVD or Blu-ray? Absolutely. I'm a completist, and I want all the Marvel movies in my collection. But it could have been better. That's pretty much it. And I think for the sequel, definitely, again, I hope they have different. I said it a couple of times, different directors, and we'll see what the Russo brothers do with Brie Larson.
Okay, well, you were much kinder, of course, than I was. But to be honest with you, I thought you were going to rate it higher.
7.
Yeah.
I would stick with 7.
I'm
7 is pretty good. If I give it a 5, 5 is not good.
Yeah. Well, I give it a 4.
Oh.
For me, I thought it was a below average movie. I don't even care to go back and watch it again. For me, it doesn't have any repeat viewing. I just found very little to.
I definitely disagree with that because of the fact that even if you didn't like the actress or the movie, there's tie-ins to the next Avengers film.
That's true, but you could really
And the future.
You really don't have to watch Captain Marvel to get it, because that end credit really means nothing when you consider the fact that the beginning credits for, or at least the latest trailer has her in the room with Thor anyway. So I don't see anything else in that movie that is necessary for you to understand between Infinity War and Endgame.
Would it end? He gives that right. So he gives it a 4. I give it a 7 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much where we're at with the film. But we're gonna move on because there's some other things we want to discuss. Some quick Marvel or movie news is it was just announced, and I'm excited to hear about it. And when I say this, I say it carefully because there's a lot of controversy around this guy. James Gunn has been rehired by Disney and Marvel to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And in my opinion, there's no one else who can do Guardians of the Galaxy better than James Gunn. I do not condone being a pedophile or pedophilia. I do not condone racism or bigotry. But before they hired this guy, and I read the comments James Gunn made. In case you don't know, James Gunn was fired by Disney about a year ago because someone dug up his past, kind of like they're doing with Michael Jackson and a couple other people, about something that he said years ago that was disturbing, that he posted online and made some comments that basically hinted to possible pedophilia. I don't know about racism, but pedophilia and some other things that were disturbing. And so Disney got hold of those comments. And again, I personally read them, and they were crappy comments, and they fired him because of that. Now, he actually had a meeting with Marvel executives before they hired him, and they knew about this actually before they hired him. So it was not something new. He went through an extensive apology, and apologizing why he made the comments. He admitted that he'd done them. He made the comments and whatnot, and they went ahead, and they hired the guy. I think that people can be forgiven. I think that people can be redeemed, mainly if you ask for forgiveness, more so than someone's, just seeking it and say, well, if I do a good job, then maybe they'll forgive me. The guy asked for forgiveness, and I guess they forgave him for his comments or excused him or whatever the proper term may be, and hired him to do Guardians of the Galaxy. But after that situation, again, they fired him, and now he's been rehired to do Guardians of the Galaxy after doing 2 films. So that news has been met with mixed results, mainly happy results for Marvel fans. I personally am glad that he's back on board, and I think that people can be forgiven. People can make mistakes. You're not looking at 2 perfect guys sitting here, definitely not me.
He's speaking for himself.
But people can make mistakes. Hey, man, I got my Guardians of the Galaxy shirt on. See? Dig that. So, so I'm happy to see James Gunn back on board. I just hope that he stays, on, the narrow path and doesn't screw up, at all. Because everything's counting on this and the continuation in the fabric of the MCU.
Yeah, this whole thing with James Gunn to me it was just a waste of time. The man apologized. This is something 10 years old.
Yeah.
He went through reconciliations and whatever he had to do. And like you said, they hired him knowing everything that was going on. See, it's the pressure of the social network that is being put on actors and comedians and whatever. And so you're finding a lot of these companies are making these decisions in haste.
Right.
Now, rumor has it that there was somebody in charge during the time this all came out a second time. They never really intended on firing him.
Well, he made comments. He's a anti-Trump.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, he's made a lot. I think that's the reason why it happened, mainly because James Gunn is very anti-Trump. He's made a lot of comments about Trump. Hell, I've made comments about the guy. But the thing about it is, why I think that this is all fabricated and kind of almost like it was planned, is because James Gunn was about to make an appearance at Comic-Con about a year ago, and then right before he was about to make his public appearance at Comic-Con, and address the fans about what he's doing with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, that's when all this came about. So it's almost like it was a strategy.
Yeah. Well, plus you gotta believe Marvel is like, we got too much invested in this guy.
Right.
And when you have someone who's coming off a track record where practically every movie he makes, nets $1 billion, you gotta tighten up your belt sometimes, and maybe have to take a little bit of heat from the public, and hold your ground. There are certain situations where people do certain things, and
if you would have said the guy took a kid and threw him off of a bridge, or he actually
did a physical thing,
or filmed a video showing him raping a child or something like that, hell no.
But see, people don't realize we can go back particularly to the 80s.
Yeah,
a lot of the great comedies in the 80s had a lot of very salacious humor. You find pedophile humor in a lot of the comedies that came out of the 80s. You can go back and watch a lot of comedies in the 80s, and there's no way in the world they can make it today. Right. No way in the world that they can make it.
No Fred Sanford reruns or Fred Sanford and Son remakes.
Normally, I wouldn't have any stake in whether or not James Gunn came back or not. I wasn't a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan initially. The first movie I thought was okay. Second movie, man, I'm telling you, I was absolutely unexpectedly. I really enjoyed it.
You were sold. I remember.
I really enjoyed it. For that reason, I'm glad that he's back, because you want to see that kind of thing continue on, because you never know what somebody else.
Okay, and moving on here too. The other news, just want to get out here too, is that next week, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse will be hitting Blu-ray March the 12th. Aquaman will be hitting Blu-ray March 26th. And also Cloak and Dagger, one of Marvel's TV shows for Hulu, Season 2 will be coming out April the 14th, a show I enjoyed very much. I didn't like the villains the antagonists they had in Cloak and Dagger, the zombie-like thing, which I think they were kind of riding on The Walking Dead. But other than that, I enjoyed the characters of Tandy and Tyrone, who played Cloak and Dagger. And that comes out April the 4th. Shazam, I believe, comes out, who also was referred to as Captain Marvel. That's DC's Captain Marvel. I believe hits theaters April the 5th. And I think Hellboy certainly shortly after that. I'm not interested in seeing Hellboy. I'm not impressed by it at all.
I was not impressed by that first trailer. Dude, that second trailer, I'm like,
You can have it, man. You can have it. I'll wait for it to hit.
Well, listen, I originally didn't want to see it without Ron Perlman. And like I said, the first trailer was just, Second trailer, I gotta admit, I liked a lot more. I'm almost willing to give this guy a chance. But
and by the way, the actor that's playing as Hellboy he plays a cop in the TV show Stranger Things. We'll see how this goes. I'm not excited. And then Godzilla, of course, will be coming out in May. Now, that's what I'm looking to see.
Yes.
I'm actually looking more forward to seeing Godzilla than the Avengers.
Are you really?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Because they're actually going to be doing the MonsterVerse.
Yeah.
See, the Avengers has been out here for a while, and I have high expectations of it.
Okay, I can understand where you're coming from.
But this MonsterVerse thing is kind of new.
That's true.
Because we haven't seen a MonsterVerse done.
No.
I wasn't impressed by the last Godzilla very much, but let's see what they're going to do with this one. And I have a feeling, just like how they've been distributing the trailers for Godzilla, they've done the same thing with Avengers, where they haven't really shown much. Even this new Avengers trailer, which we're going to watch in a few minutes, they've shown hardly anything. And when a movie studio does that, that means they got something really planned in store for you to see. And I have a feeling the Godzilla trailer they've shown, there's probably more monsters than we think. Another buddy of mine, Thomas, if you're watching this video, said they're probably going to destroy all monsters.
Oh, that's what it looks like to me too.
Well, it's probably going to not just be Mothra or Rodan. They're
Right.
probably going to bring Anguirus, Baragon.
Well, there are a couple of shortcuts in the trailer, particularly something coming up out of the ground.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't tell what it is. I wasn't sure if it was Gamera or Gamera as they call it.
I think it's probably not Gamera.
But it's going to be.
It's probably going to be Anguirus.
Yeah, it's going to be more than just those four. But my biggest excitement for that movie is to see an updated
King Ghidorah.
my favorite of all.
Bam. Also exciting news, too, for me in the comic book world, for those of you who read comic books, April 3rd is going to be the War of the Realms. And I can't wait to read that story. I think Jason Aaron's writing this story. It's a 6-part story arc. So for those who read comic books, War of the Realms is definitely something to look forward to. It's where the realms of Asgard are coming to Earth to do battle. And they pretty much wiped out some of the other planets or other realms in Asgard, Jotunheim, and Bethlehem, or whatever. And they're coming to Earth to do battle, and the Avengers are going to have to try to save Earth from the creatures from the Asgardian realm. Okay, but that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So subscribers, if you liked that video, which I hope you did, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also tap that bell so you can get more notifications of videos like these. And you can also comment below and make comments. I will respond. I do respond. Please subscribe and share this channel with others who have like minds like us, with comic books, movies, music, etc. Okay? That's it. That's all, y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease. Oh, yeah, I changed sweaters, too. Did you notice that? Peace, y'all.